Hey folks, it's Lucy with Ballyhoo Creations, and in this video I wanted to do a review of a website called Creative Fabrica. I know I've talked about them before, and I'm really wanting people to check them out, not just because of the affiliate link that I'm going to leave you, but because a lot of stuff's happening over there, which is kind of shaking up the machine embroidery world, or graphics in general. If you do machine embroidery or SVG cut files or sublimation printing, if you do any of that either as a hobby or a business, you'll want to check out Creative Fabrica because they're really growing fast. For people with creative pursuits, if you're hungry for creative materials, they're like this Las Vegas style all-you-can-eat buffet for creative people. Okay, I'm here at the front page of creativefabrica.com, and on the front page you'll see like this stuff up here, and you'll see these bundles, mostly fonts and things like that. So where you want to probably start looking is up here at the top. This is where their main menu is, and we'll start with machine embroidery because this is a machine embroidery channel mainly. They have tons and tons of machine embroidery designs. I happen to know they also have scouts, paid employees at Creative Fabrica, where they are looking for designers to open shops and sell their embroidery designs on Creative Fabrica. That's how I learned about them in the first place. I was contacted about opening a shop, and at first I was like, I don't know. I don't know if it's my thing. I already have a website that I sell my shops on. I already have a website where I sell my designs. But then I started watching what they were doing. I did a lot of research on the integrity of their company, and then I decided to go ahead and open a shop. So I'll give you a review of being a designer for them as well as being a customer of theirs. I do both. So there's a lot of embroidery designs, and I'm not going to go through all of them and show you all the designs. I have downloaded some. I've been impressed. I really can't, I can't speak to all of them, but there's so many different designers out there, and all of these look really good. There's some great stuff. And like I said, new designs are being added every day. So if you don't see what you're looking for now, check back in a week because they're really growing fast. But they're not just machine embroidery. They also have, oh my gosh, so many graphics of so many things. I don't even know where to start here. If you have a cutting machine, a Silhouette or a Cricut, they have cut files for you, vinyl cutting, all kinds of things. If you are into sublimation printers, they have that. If you're into homeschooling, coloring books for adults and children, patterns is actually, this one's a little confusing. These are patterns that are background graphic patterns. So if you do digital scrapbooking, or you can print them out and have beautiful papers. You can also print these on fabric, and I've been doing that with my inkjet printer with a product called Terrial Magic. You can print on fabric just with that alone. It's really cool. So I'm not good at mixing and matching patterns and colors, so I'll just buy one of these packs here. Like, let me find one that I've already downloaded several of these actually. Okay, so here's one. It's all color coordinated for you. So I will print out like maybe 2 or 3 of these designs, and then I've got a few small pieces of fabric to use for in the hoop projects. I think that's amazing. I'm loving that. They also have crochet patterns, knit patterns, cross stitch patterns, quilt patterns. These are new things. These are getting newer. Sewing patterns. More and more are being added. And I actually have one of my sewing patterns. This is the monster doll. I have a in the hoop monster stuffy, but this is the sewing pattern. So I'm doing both now. So that's the graphics includes the craft patterns like knit, crochet, sewing. Product mock-ups, if you're in the business of machine embroidery or sublimation printing or anything like that, you're gonna love these product mock-ups. I've used these. You can find all these different, like whether it's a mug or a bag or a t-shirt, people take photos of this with a blank, and then all you do is you go and put in what you want. Like for an embroidery design, I would have my embroidery software print out a transparent photo, so a PNG photo with a transparent background, and then I would put my design right in here instead of where it says mock-up. And then it looks like I took a photo of my design on a t-shirt with jeans and the cool little background, but I didn't actually have to go to the trouble of stitching it out and taking a photo because someone else already did the hard work for me. And it's not saying, okay, this is a stitch out. You don't want to mislead people, but it just shows people what your design would look like. on a shirt or a bag or a pillow or something like that. And I usually will put like a product mock-up or something on the photo. That's just me though. So mock-ups are great if you are selling designs, or even if you're just selling like clothes, you're doing baby onesies, there's baby onesie mock-ups that you can find. So you can, instead of stitching out a whole bunch of samples, you can take whatever your favorite designs are that you're going to offer in your shop and put it on a mock-up and then use that as the example photo. I think that's wonderful. KDP Interiors is another one that you might be like, what is that? I've never heard of that. I didn't know they were called this. KDP is a Kindle thing, and people put planners and coloring books and things like that up on Amazon. Here's what it means for us though. If you are doing embroidery machine, journals, planners, little in the hoop projects, and you want to have pages inside of there, this is where you can get those pages for planners, journals, all those kind of things. You download the file, you print them out, and then you can put them in your handmade journal or planner or notebook or whatever it is you made. So that's really cool, because I sold planners and journals at craft fairs a few years ago, and I had to create all of my own pages, and it took forever. And if I'd known that I could have just gone and purchased them, and it would have saved me days worth of work. So here you go. And of course there's fonts, and I mean, there's a whole category of all different fonts. So whatever, you know, if you're into that, the fonts, the graphics, the patterns, the embroidery files, there's so many things. They even have a craft club, which you can go and request. See, I'm not logged in with my membership here, so I can't show you what that looks like, but people can request things like, hey, I'd like files that are of this, and people can upvote and say, yeah, I want that too, and then they go from there. They just started this week. This is brand new. Yesterday, actually, classes came out. These are video classes that are from people, experts in their field, and there are all kinds of things here. Kelly, the embroidery nurse, has an embroidery class, but it's not showing on the first page. I think it's on the second page. So cutting, all kinds of things. And there are more and more of these coming. I know I have 4 classes that I'm putting up, but only 1 has been released so far. So there's all of these things. And embroidery is not here yet, but it will be. These are just the popular categories that have the most people enrolled. Because here's the thing, there's also fans. And this is where most of the machine embroidery people are. Let me switch over to the fans. On the classes, there's not a lot going on for machine embroidery, but on the fan site, each of these people is probably offering classes or other things as part of membership, and this is a separate. So there's the Creative Fabrica membership, and then you can become a fan of somebody and pay a separate monthly membership. It's 2 separate things. But Carly Bell is rocking it on her number of fans, and Angela Jasmina, she was not on there before. And I don't know how, like, she's only been on maybe a few weeks, and she's already at the top of the list. And then this guy is a paper crafter. A lot of paper crafters in here, graphics and illustration. There's actually one that I'd like to join here too. And my fan site, I'm down here. I only have 3 fans right now. Oh, it's so sad. But it's still growing. I'm not really pushing it out there yet. But I do have some people signed up. There are free classes and free designs, including exclusive designs that I'm not offering anywhere else. So that's the fans. And go back to Creative Fabrica up here. So you can see you've got all the different products that you can download, but then you also have the fans is a separate thing, and the classes are a separate thing, and it's all part of the subscription. So let me talk about the subscription, because I actually have a subscription and I'm paying for a monthly subscription, because here's why. So it started out, there were a couple fonts that I wanted to buy, 2 fonts, and they were $15 each, and like I could spend $30 and get these 2 fonts. Or I can pay $29 and get these 2 fonts and just cancel my membership at the end of the month and get a whole bunch of other stuff while I'm a member. So that's what I did. And I got so many other things, I decided to keep the membership because there were so many. Like, the more I'm on there searching and looking at things, the more I'm like, oh wow, this is cool and I can use this. And I've started using like graphics and fonts for my business, for my branding and all of that stuff. I'm getting all of that from Creative Fabrica now. So I used to spend, feels like it was cheaper, but it cost me more for, what was it, Creative Market and Envato are the 2 that I was using before. And I spent a lot of money there, whether it's a website theme or graphics or things like that. And now I can get those from Creative Fabrica as part of my membership. And Creative Fabrica allows commercial use. That's worth mentioning. Commercial use on anything you get there. So you can make something, sell it, and for as long as you're a member, or if you buy it, that's a separate thing. So definitely read the rules of the membership, because one of the things I noticed about the membership, for embroidery designs at least, if you are a member and you download an embroidery design, you can stitch whatever you want with that design while you're a member and then sell it. But after your membership is over, you're not allowed to stitch that out later on after your membership has expired. You are allowed to sell whatever you stitch. So let's say I'm a 1-month member and I just join in June and I download a whole bunch of stuff and I stitch out 10 things, okay, and then I let the membership expire. I can go and sell those 10 things years into the future, because whatever you made during the month that you're a member, you can sell whenever. But I'm not allowed to go and use those files to stitch things in the future when my membership is expired, which that's pretty typical of any membership site. I have a membership site for the music that I put on this YouTube channel, and it's the same way. As long as you're paying your membership, you can use the music whenever on YouTube or wherever. But that's the Creative Fabrica website in a nutshell of what they have to offer. And here's why I think we should be keeping an eye on them, and why I have decided to kind of not really partner up with them, but I have a design shop on there. I have the fan site with them too, because they handle all of the customer service for me. Like if someone buys a design and can't figure out how to download it, I don't have to deal with that. They deal with all of that for me. So another thing about Creative Fabrica that's worth noting, and why I decided to go ahead and work with them for, I have my designs for sale up there. I have a membership site with them, and I also am teaching classes for them. I think they're going places, and that's just my opinion. I mean, I don't have any like crystal ball. Well, okay, I do have crystal balls, but I don't know how to read them, I guess. They got an investment back in January of 2021 of $7 million. And that tells me that they have a product roadmap that at least impressed this investment firm, who said, yeah, take our money and go do great things. And from what I've seen just in the few months that I've been working alongside them, they've really been like moving and shaking. I see that machine embroidery, like on the fan site, the machine embroidery people are taking off. I'm seeing a lot of machine embroidery happening there. I see more designers putting designs up every day. It's a really cool thing. So I think for us in machine embroidery, Creative Fabrica is going to be a place to watch, because it's so easy to just go there and download, like become a member and download whatever you want. You can also get affiliate links. So I'm going to leave a link in the box below of my affiliate link. So if you go and join using that link, then they will give me a little bit of money. But the cool thing is, you just sign up on the site and then you get an affiliate link that you can, if you get your friends to join, then they pay you money. So I thought if that investment company thinks they're worth it, that's why I checked them out, and I was pretty impressed too. I've seen things on the internet that were concerning though. I did a Google search and the Facebook page with people complaining came up, and people saying they're a fraud and I couldn't get my download and they took my money, and I was like, I have not had any bad experience like that. So I don't know where that's coming from. I do know that sometimes with digital designs, people download them and don't know where on the computer it went. So maybe that was happening. I really don't know. I'm not their customer service, so I don't know what's happening with that. But I've had really great experience as a customer and a designer with them. That's all I can say. They're not a fraud. They have my credit card information, and I've not had any problems with that. I also know that they do pay. I've gotten money in my bank account from stuff with them, so they do pay their designers and their teachers. I can say that for sure. I have a few complaints on a couple of things. As a designer, when you have to write a product description when you upload your embroidery design, and then they change it. And one of the really big problems that I have with that is I create in the hoop designs and you have to have instructions, and the instructions are a different download than the zip file with all the embroidery files, and you have to know to download both, which is not clear, because usually when you buy machine embroidery you get a zip file that has the PDF file and all the embroidery files. Well, theirs is different. You have to know to go to both places. So I actually put in my description, make sure you download the PDF file with instructions. And they took that out because they changed your description. And I was like, well, now I really don't want to go and put the more complicated designs up because people may not get the instructions. And if you get it in the hoop, like a really complicated in the hoop design without instructions, you're lost. You can't do it. So that was one of the problems that I've had. I'm also a little concerned about the categories. I would like to see categories for applique, for in the hoop. I would like to see just kind of different categories than what they have right now. Right now it's like a bunch of different animals, a bunch of different holidays. You have sayings, you have like inspirational, but I don't know. It doesn't really fit how I shop for embroidery designs. Maybe it's just me because I'm usually looking for applique or in the hoop and they don't have categories for that. So maybe I'm the only one who has a problem with that, but it's something that I have mentioned to their customer service, and I also mentioned in a survey that they sent me on, I kind of like read them the riot act on what complaints that I have. I am not one to keep my mouth shut about things. You guys, if you've been watching my channel, you know that. So those are the only problems that I've had, is the way they change the description of when you're uploading a design kind of bugged me, and then being able to download everything in one zip file I think is better, but that's just me. I think most of us expect that. And then the search, it's kind of hard to find things, and then I end up spending hours and hours and hours looking at graphics and graphics and graphics, and then like the whole day is gone. It's maybe why some of my designs aren't finished yet. So I think that wraps up everything I wanted to talk about with Creative Fabrica and why I'm impressed with them. I think you should go check them out and at least look and see what they have. And if you're not impressed right now, then come back in a month and see if they impress you later, because like I said, more stuff is always coming in. They are adding more classes. They are adding more new fan sites, like the new one that I just told you just showed up and all of a sudden has a whole bunch of fans. And then more designs, always more graphics, more embroidered designs. They have articles, they have how-to, there's just so much stuff. So I'm really impressed. I hope they do well. I would like to stay with them for a long time. I'll leave a link in the description box that's my affiliate link to Creative Fabrica. And yes, I will make a little bit of money if you get a membership using that link, or if maybe even if you buy something using that link. I think that they'll still give me a little bit. It's not much. I mean, I've been watching my balance grow and it's not huge, but you know, every little bit helps, because making videos is not free. That's all I have for today. I hope you have a wonderful day, week, life. I'll see you later, guys. Bye.